Allah is my heart's speech. Your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance, and in your deen allow me to advance. Help me in my quest. Permit me to pass the ultimate test. Help me in my quest. Permit me to pass the ultimate test.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على مبعوث رحمة للعالمين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to this new episode of Ask Huda. Our first question for tonight is from Muhammad, and he asks by saying, what will happen if Riya develops during my salah and I ward it off, and at the end my intention was for Allah? First of all, Riya is something that is considered to be a form of minor shirk, minor associating others with Allah. It's not major. It doesn't nullify a person's Islam. And a lot of us may translate it into showing off. So brother Muhammad is asking, what's the ruling if a person comes and he begins his prayer and all of a sudden he gets these feelings of showing off? So I'm praying and somebody's looking, and all of a sudden I try to beautify my prayer so that people would think well of me, maybe beautify my recitation, maybe prolong my prayer longer than usual so that people would comment and praise me for that. So what's the ruling on that? First of all, scholars say that deeds vary. There are deeds that are connected, the beginning with the end. So if the beginning was not good, then the end it will not be good, and vice versa. Such as prayer. If you begin your prayer without wudu, even if you continue the whole prayer, the whole thing is gone. If you begin the prayer with wudu and just before salam, you nullify your wudu, your prayer is gone, because it's all connected together. And there are deeds that are not connected. The beginning is not connected to the end, such as charity, for example. So if a person gives 50 riyals and then another 50 riyals, they are not connected. They're different and separate. And scholars say if it's separate, then whatever has showing off in it is not accepted. And the part that did not have show off in it is accepted. For example, I have 100 riyals. This Shaykh ibn Uthaymeen says, always gives this example, may Allah have mercy on his soul. So if I give 50 riyals for the sake of Allah to the poor, and my intention was for the sake of Allah, Allah accepts this. But if I add another 50, just because someone commented positively or is looking at me, so I wanted to show off, then this 50 riyals, the second one, is not valid, and the first one is accepted. When it comes to prayer, it's a different issue altogether. If I begin the prayer from the very beginning with the intention of showing off, the whole prayer is invalid. So for example, I'm sitting idle, all of a sudden the boss of the company comes in and he looks at those around, so I stand up and I start to pray just to impress him. So my whole prayer is invalid and I'm sinful for that. But what is the ruling if this feeling of showing off came to me while I was praying, not from the very beginning? It's an issue of dispute. And because it's an issue of dispute, then inshallah, if you ward it off as you have said, and then at the end of your prayer, the intention was purely for Allah Azza wa Jal, your prayer is valid. The issue is not when it crosses your mind and you contemplate upon it and you fight it off. The issue is when you are happy with it and you go along with it. In this case, this affects your prayer. So if it goes all the way to the end while you are happy with it and continuing with it, scholars differ. Some say that the beginning is okay, but the end is not. Some say the whole prayer is invalid. And because there is this difference of opinion among scholars, we say, inshallah, Allah accepts that which was pure and rejects which was not. Qadir says, during ghusl, first, we pour water on the head after wudu 3 times. Is it necessary to pour water again on the head when we pour water on the whole body thrice after that? Now, when it comes to ghusl, a lot of the brothers and sisters have confusion. Ghusl has 2 ways of performing it. The sunnah way and the way that is accepted, which is not in accordance to the sunnah. So the way that is accepted, which is not in accordance to the sunnah, but it's accepted, it's valid, is when you wash your entire body, you turn the water in your mouth and you rinse your nose, that's it. So if I dip myself in the ocean or in the sea or in a big swimming pool with the intention of uplifting this major ritual impurity that I have, and I turn water in my mouth and I rinse my nose, sniff the water and blow my nose, then my ghusl is valid and I am in the state of wudu. I don't have to perform wudu. But the sunnah way, which the Prophet ﷺ had done himself and the mothers of the believers told us about, is first of all that you come and you wash your hands 3 times. Because at the time, they did not have faucets. They had a bucket of water, so they had to put their hands in the bucket of water and then start to wash themselves. So in order to ensure that your hands are clean and no dirt on them, you first wash your hands before entering your hands into that bucket of water. And then the Prophet used to wash his private parts and then wash his hands again. And in some narrations, he used to dust his hands because they did not have soap at that time. So dusting your hand on the ground cleanses it. Then you, or the Prophet ﷺ used to perform wudu. So you perform the normal wudu, either with washing the feet at the end or postponing that to the very end. Then he would put 3 scoops of water over his head and ensure that the water reaches his scalp. And then he would wash his body. Now, do I have to wash my head again? The answer is no. The 3 times that you've washed your scalp or your head at the beginning, this suffices. And then at the end, you wash your feet, and by this, your ghusl is complete and according to the sunnah. Umar from Nigeria. Umar.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. Listen to me from the phone, please.
Yeah, I am.
Yes, Akhi. What can I do for you?
Please, I have a few questions.
Yes.
Number 1 is that in my area in Nigeria, whenever we finish the prayer, there is this habit that people engage in. When you finish your tasbih, you see people turning to the person on the right and the person on the left, shake their hand.
Okay.
You just say, Salaam alaikum, Salaam alaikum. People just keep on shaking hands.
Okay.
After the prayer. I just want to know, is that in accordance with the Sunnah, if there is anywhere that this is...
Okay, second question.
What the status is. Second question is about this Knut. I know you have been...
I'm unable to hear you, Umar. Second question is about? Umar?
I said the status is about the Qunut after the Fajr prayer.
Okay. Any more questions?
And then lastly,
Okay.
the prayers have completed.
Witr. What's with witr?
The Asr prayer. Nawafil left after the Asr prayer.
Okay.
Are prohibited.
Yeah, are you asking about the rawatib or about witr?
No, nawafil, nawafil.
Nawafil. What about, is there anything specific?
No, after Asr. It's not.
After
You are not
Asr.
supposed to pray after Asr. Yes, you are
Okay.
not supposed to pray after Asr, right?
Okay. I will answer you, inshallah. Okay. Okay. Omar from Nigeria had 3 questions. The first question was, what is the ruling on shaking hands after concluding the congregational prayer? I'm in the masjid. It's a habit in so many countries that you look at the person to your right and Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, how are you? Everything is fine. So what's the ruling on that? First of all, offering salam is good, and it's something that is positive. However, if it becomes a habit and it is attached to fard prayer and congregational prayers, it becomes an innovation. So, akhi, how can you say it's good, but it may become an innovation? It's very easy. If I'm in the prayer, I concluded my salat, and I look to my right, and there is this brother I had not seen in some time, couple of weeks. So, oh, assalamu alaikum, how are you, my friend? Where you've been? Chit-chatting with him. There's nothing wrong with that. But if it is a habit that every time after we conclude our prayers, we look to whomever randomly is at our sides and shake hands and give salam, this is an innovation. Why do we say it's an innovation? Because our Prophet ﷺ, who taught us the religion, who taught us the deen, did not do anything as such. Neither did his companions. And this is a very important issue that all Muslims must adhere to. When we want to do something, did the Prophet ﷺ ever did something that is similar to this or not? If he didn't, then it is an innovation. If he did, then go ahead and do it without any problem, inshallah. Umar's second question was about the ruling of al-qunut in Fajr. What is qunut? Qunut in Arabic has a number of meanings, of number of words. One of them is to prolong the recitation. This is one of them. So the Prophet used to make qunut in his Fajr prayer, meaning that he used to prolong the prayer, reciting the Quran, and it's one of the longest prayers around. And another famous meaning of it is the dua, which we usually do in witr. So we say, Allahumma hdini fi man hadayt wa afini fi man afayt wa tawallani fi man tawallayt, which we usually hear often in Taraweeh prayers, and we occasionally do it in witr prayer. So this is qunut. Now the issue that Brother Umar is asking about is the ruling of making dua al-qunut in Fajr prayer, in the second rak'ah. What's the ruling on that? It's an issue of dispute. The majority of all scholars of Islam say that this is not a sunnah. Some say that this is a sunnah, and among those who say that it is a sunnah is the school of thought of Imam al-Shafi'i. But the other schools of thought, the narrations of the companions of the Prophet ﷺ, that the Prophet did not do qunut, neither did Abu Bakr, neither did Umar, neither did Uthman, may Allah be pleased with them. None of them had done it. Yes, the Prophet did it for a short period of time until Allah Azza wa Jal told him to stop. And therefore, we, as it is the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, till he died, that he did not do it, we should follow the same, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. Firdosa from Ethiopia.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Assalamu
Sheikh, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Listen to me from the phone, please,
Sheikh,
and mute.
I have a few questions.
Yes.
Okay. My question is, in the past Ramadan,
Yes.
I gave a bath and I didn't fast the whole month.
Okay.
I missed the whole month. And before this, just recently past Ramadan, I got pregnant.
Okay.
Before around the ending of the month, and then due to that, and plus, sorry, I missed 7 days before I get pregnant for ministerial period, and then before the completion of Ramadan, I got pregnant and I didn't pay that day, and also around the 5 days I traveled. I was on journey and I got totally around 12 days I missed from the past Ramadan. Before I repaid that one, I got pregnant, and then I gave birth during this last Ramadan, and I missed the whole month. Till now, I didn't fast because I'm breastfeeding, and my baby is now 10 months old. Sorry, so I need your advice on this.
Okay. Any more questions?
No, thank you.
I will answer you. Yahya from Saudi.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Salamullah.
First, Sheikh, I appreciate the way you explained. Jazakallah khair.
Ujazak.
Sheikh, my question is having a girlfriend right or wrong?
For a boy or for a girl?
For a boy.
Would you like
to have a girlfriend?
Would you accept your sister to be a girlfriend for someone else?
No, obviously not.
Okay, alhamdulillah. This answers your question.
Okay, shukran. Jazakallah khair.
Wajazak, ya akhi. Barakallah feek. Umar from Nigeria says, what's the ruling on praying voluntary prayers after Asr? And the reason probably he's asking this question, because we all know that there are restricted times of prayer during the day and night. So the Prophet told us, alayhi salam, that it is not permissible to pray after Asr until the sun sets. And it's not permissible to pray after Fajr until the sun rises. And these are known as prohibited times of prayer. So he says, okay, what about in the case if I missed a voluntary prayer of Asr, of Dhuhr, for example, and I could not pray it on time? Can I make it up after Asr? It's an issue of dispute among scholars. And the reason for dispute is that the general trend is that you're not allowed to do this. However, there is an authentic hadith narrated by Salama, may Allah be pleased with her, that the Prophet ﷺ came into her house and prayed 2 rak'ahs after Asr. So she protested in a sense and objected, O Prophet of Allah, you always prohibited us to pray after Asr, and now you're praying 2 rak'ahs. What is this? He said that there was an envoy from the tribe of so-and-so who used to, came, and I could not have enough time to pray the Dhuhr Sunnah until Asr was due. So I had to make it up now. This is the hadith. There is another narration where she said, okay, Prophet of Allah, can we do this? Okay, should we do it like you? And the Prophet said, no, do not do this. And scholars differed whether this addition of not following him in doing it is authentic or not. And the most authentic opinion that it is a weak narration. However, it is best and safe not to do it unless it is once in a blue moon and not a habit, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. Hafsa from Nigeria. Yes, Hafsa.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Salam wa rahmatullah.
Sheikh, we have just learned that it is recommended to pray al-Qunut during witr prayer.
Correct.
It is sunnah to pray al-Qunut. Then how often is it recommended to pray this?
In witr?
Qunut? Yes.
Okay, I will answer inshallah. And we have wajazakum. Samira from Saudi.
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Samtullah.
Sheikh, can a woman, I have 2 questions.
Yes.
The first one is, can a woman travel alone without a mahram? And she has a stopover like for 2 hours. And
Okay.
the other one is like, if a person is a diabetic, she's not able to fast during Ramadan. So what can she do? Like she can give something like
Okay.
instead of fasting, like she can pay something.
Okay.
So please throw some light on it. Okay, Jazakallah, Sheikh.
Wajazakum. Okay, Ferdosa from Ethiopia, her dilemma is that she has approximately 50 days of missed fasting, and now she is suckling her child. And what to do? The majority of scholars say that no matter how many days she had missed, once the excuse, once the reason behind her not being able to fast is lifted, is gone, then she has to make up. And I have a lot of sisters asking that they have not fasted for approximately 10 Ramadans. So you're talking about 300 days. The reason? Either pregnant or breastfeeding or in her postnatal bleeding. So there is no problem in that. The scholars differed whether she is obliged to feed a poor person for every day missed or not, while making up for that missed days. And the most authentic opinion that there is no feeding at all. All what she has to do is simply make up for these missed days according to her ability. So for example, if inshallah in 3-4 years she's not pregnant and she's not feeding, breastfeeding, in this case she can fast every Mondays and Thursdays, or every white days, the 13th, 14th, and 15th of every month. And this is approximately 11 days, 10 days a month. So she can easily finish this in 2, 3, or 4 years, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. Saad from Saudi. Saad.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sheikh, we are resident of Mecca al-Mukarramah.
Okay.
My question is that when we go on an extended leave, say about a week or so, is it necessary for us to enter in Mecca al-Mukarramah in Haram and perform Umbra?
Okay. Any more questions?
This is, and second question is there, when oftenly we have to go to Jeddah, can we do Qasr there since we are resident of Makkah?
Okay.
Okay, 2 questions, Sheikh.
I will answer you, inshallah. And we have Saeed. Okay, we lost Saeed. I hope he calls back again. We have a short break. Stay tuned. And inshallah, we'll be right back.
Zad's Group present to you 3 of the best versions for Sheikh Muhammad Saleh Al-Munajjid in English language. How he treated them. Interaction of the greatest leader, the Pilgrim's Provision. For more information, please visit one of those websites.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, and welcome back. That was a very, very short break. But, alhamdulillah, never underestimate these breaks. Hafsa from Nigeria is asking a question. When we said about al-Qunut in Witr, I was talking about al-Qunut in al-Fajr. But she has got a question regarding the Qunut in Witr. How often should we do it? To answer your question, it's again a big issue of dispute. Some scholars say, do it all the time, because the Prophet ﷺ taught this hadith to Al-Hasan ibn Ali ibn Abi Talib, may Allah be pleased with him and with his father, when he came to the Prophet ﷺ and he was 9 years of age, maybe less, asking him to teach him something to say in Witr. So that child is requesting something to say in Witr. So the Prophet taught him to say, Allahumma hdini fi man hadayt, etc. Some scholars say the Prophet himself ﷺ was not reported to us that he had ever offered Qunut in Witr himself. So we should not do it. And some say, well, if you do it sometimes and leave it sometimes, then you're holding the stick from the middle. And Ibn Taymiyyah, may Allah have mercy on his soul, says, whatever you do, this is applicable and accepted. So if you do it all the time, you're okay. If you don't do it at all, you're okay. If you do it and skip it, then you are okay as well. We have Muslih from Iraq. Muslih.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuh.
I have a question. If someone cannot have a child, is a sterile,
okay,
can he in Islam allowed to marry?
Okay. Any more questions?
Just this question.
Okay, I will
Thank
answer
you.
you. And Samira from Saudi Arabia, she has two questions. The first question is, what's the ruling on traveling without a mahram? And then she added that, and there is one stopover for a couple of hours. Well, it doesn't matter whether there is a stopover or not. The issue and the most important factor is that what is the ruling of traveling without a mahram? It is the Prophet ﷺ who answered your question. When he said himself, it is not permissible for a woman who believes in Allah and the Day of Judgment to travel without a mahram. So who said this statement? Sheikh so-and-so? No, it was the Prophet himself. So a man stood up and said, "O Prophet of Allah, my wife went for Hajj and my name was called for the battle and to go in an expedition for jihad." The Prophet told him, leave that and go and catch up with your wife. So this clearly indicates that it is totally prohibited for a woman to travel without a mahram, even for a pillar of Islam, which is Hajj, let alone just to see her parents or to go for studies or to go for a vacation. Her second question, Samira from Saudi Arabia, was that if a person who's diabetic and he's unable to fast Ramadan, what is the ruling on that? First of all, we pray to Allah Azza wa Jal that may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cure her or his illness and make him better than before. Secondly, if this illness is chronic and the doctors say that there is no way for him to be treated and it is impossible for him to fast, he has to eat, he has to consume something, otherwise he's going to die or to suffer immensely according to that, and there's no cure in the foreseen future. In this case, such a chronic patient who's unable to fast and doctors say that he will never recover, this person is exempted in Islam from fasting, and Allah is giving him another alternative, and that is to feed a poor person for every day missed. And this is for any person with chronic illness or for a person who is unable to fast, such as a person in his 90s, too old, he's not sick, but he's unable to fast. His body cannot tolerate this. In this case, Allah has exempted them and ordered them to feed a poor person. When to feed this poor person? After the end or the sunset of every day, or you can delay this at the end of the month and feed 30 people altogether, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. We have Absian from Ethiopia.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Salam to Allah.
Sheikh, I have a question.
Yes, Akhi.
I guess I have a problem with my night boy. Hello?
Yes, Akhi, what's your problem?
Just to have a dispute with our neighbor. So I try to solve the problem with them by sending elders from the neighbor, but they refused to accept my invitation to solve our dispute.
And the school is... Absian, the problem with your neighbors is caused by who? By the children?
No. Just with my mother and another woman which is living in neighbor. That is a dispute on the some sort of issues.
Okay.
So just I try to solve the problem by sending the elders from the neighbor.
Okay.
But they refused.
Okay.
Now they brought the case to the court. The case is in the court. Now, do I have a problem with her? I try to say for them, Assalamu alaikum, but they refused to respond for me. And they have again, and they look at me and the other my families by glancing with bad eyes.
Okay.
So what is the problem if I stay until the court issues is stayed? There is a hadith which says that if a person is two Muslim persons dispute and if it is take more than 3 days, their good deeds will not be accepted until they solve the problem. Yes, I have a problem with this regarding on these issues. I need the answer from you.
I will answer you, inshallah, Absin. Isa from Nigeria? Isa? I think we've lost brother Isa. Okay, Saad or Saeed, I'm not sure, wallah, from Saudi Arabia. He says that I live in Mecca. So whenever I travel for a week or two or a month or a year and I come back to Mecca, is it mandatory for me to enter Mecca in the state of Haram and make Umrah? The answer is no. It is not obligatory upon you. The Prophet ﷺ, when he came to the conquest of Mecca, did not come in the state of Ihram. So there is no problem in you to enter and exit from Mecca as much as you want with or without the state of Ihram. And his second question is that I often go to Jeddah. So if I go to Jeddah, am I allowed to pray Qasr prayer? It's an issue of dispute. And the most authentic opinion is that Qasr is determined by not the distance, but rather by what the people consider to be traveling. So the people of Mecca and the people of Jeddah, there's about 80 kilometers apart between them, yet we never consider commuting between the two cities as traveling. I have so many friends who live in Mecca and they work every single day of the week in Jeddah. And sometimes they commute twice or 3 times to attend a wedding, etc., and go up and down. So when I travel to Mecca, I never shorten the prayer and I never combine. But if I travel to Taif, for example, which is another 70 kilometers further, in this case I do, because now I am considered to be traveling and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. We have a second break. Stay tuned and inshallah we'll be right back.
Zad's group present to you 3 of the best versions for Sheikh Muhammad Saleh Al-Munajjid in English language. How he treated them, interaction of the greatest leader, the pilgrim's provision. For more information, please visit one of those websites.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we're going to talk about the book Interactions of the Greatest Leader. The Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam ordered his companions to love the poor and be close to them. Abu Thar al-Ghifari radiyallahu anh said, "My intimate friend sallallahu alaihi wasallam ordered me with 7 things: to love the poor and be close to them, to look at those who are below me and not those who are above me, to keep the ties of the womb, no matter how far they are, to not ask anyone for anything, to say the truth even if it is bitter, to not fear when standing up for Allah's rights, the blame of anyone that blames." And he ordered me to say, "La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah." There is no ability or strength except through Allah, because it is from a treasure beneath the throne. Reported by Ahmad. Albani ruled it authentic in As-Sahih.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome back. Brother Muslih from Iraq is asking if a person cannot produce, he is sterile and he doesn't have the ability to have children. So is it permissible for him to get married? And the scholars have commented on this and said that this is totally permissible if the woman knows of his case and she's fine with that. See, marriage is not only about reproduction, having children. It's not all about intimacy. There are so many things more to marriage than this. However, this is the core of marriage. So if a person is unable to have children, or even worse, if a person is impotent and he's unable to have intimacy with his wife, he needs someone to share the house with him. He needs someone to talk to. He needs someone to take care of him if he's sick. So there is no problem in him getting married to a woman who knows his condition is she's fine with that. Maybe another woman who does not bear children. Maybe a woman who already has children and doesn't want any more from another person. Maybe, and there's so many possibilities. And in short, yes, but the most important condition is that you do not deceive people. You come out clean and tell those you're proposing to that this is my medical condition or this is the way I am. Absian from Ethiopia has a long issue, and in short, there is a feud, there is a problem with their neighbors, his mother and another woman, and apparently they escalated it and filed a court case against them. He is trying to become or to be the proper Muslim, giving salam, trying to give the neighbors their due rights, but they're not replying to his salam. They are looking in a bad and evil way to him. So he's asking that the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ of those discommunicating or boycotting their fellow brother Muslim for 3 days or more, that Allah Azza wa Jal would not look at them, Allah Azza wa Jal would punish them, etc. Does this apply on me? The answer is no. As long as you're the one who initiates the salam and they don't reply, it's their bad, it's their sin, and you have no sin at all. On the contrary, you are highly rewarded. Now he's saying, can I skip them? The answer is, you should not skip them. But if you don't see them, don't go out of your way to communicate with them and to give them salam. But if you see them in the market or in the street, or you open the door and you see them, in this case, there is no problem, inshallah, in giving them salam, and Allah knows best. Wasila from Libya.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening to you.
Sir, please, unfortunately, I don't have good network to email you. That's why I tried to call again.
You can simply post your question on my website, which is asimulhakeem.net. One word, Asim Alhakeem.
The problem is that the kind of network we have in Libya has a problem. Whenever I try, it's not okay.
Wallahi, unfortunately, I cannot receive emails because I have tons of them. This is the only way that my team can filter it and send it to me, inshallah. Give it a try from another device, and inshallah, Allah will make it easy for you. Abdul Rahman from Saudi.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu wa barakatuh.
My husband has a question he wanted me to ask you. He stepped out. If he makes wudu at home and he wears socks, he forgets to wash his feet. Like if he wore socks for a whole day and night, and then he intended to remove them and to wash his feet, and then to put a new pair of socks, but he forgot. He made wudu and forgot his feet, and then he left to go pray. Can he, at the bathroom of the masjid, can he just wash his socks, or does he have to redo his whole wudu?
Okay,
can
I will
he
answer.
remove his socks and just wash his feet, or he has to redo his whole wudu at the masjid?
Okay, any more questions?
No, thank you.
I will answer you, inshallah. We have Adnan from Saudi, or Adnan? Okay, Abdul Nasser from Libya.
Sheikh, salam alaikum.
Salam, you're late, Abdul Nasser.
Yes. We don't have lights.
Yes, Akhi.
Sheikh, how are you?
I'm fine, Jazakallah khair, Akhi.
Sheikh, I have 3 questions.
Okay.
My first question, in case the masjid and the Muharram is not yet give azan, and you give Arba rak'ahs, so you sit down, then please, the Muharram azan for Dhuhr. So should you again make 4 acts or not make it?
This is for what salah?
Yes, no, you make azan for Dhuhr.
Dhuhr, okay.
Yes, but before I enter inside the mosque, he's not yet azan. So I give my 4 rakat and I sit down for 10 minutes after he makes azan for Dhuhr. Should I wait again and give another Arba rakat or not?
Okay, any more questions?
Yes, and my second question,
Wallahi, Abdul Nasser, your line is very bad. It's breaking.
Yes, the point is here. We the
Abdul Nasser, I'm afraid I cannot hear you properly. Your line is breaking. I would appreciate if you try to call again, please. Jazakallah khair. Nadia from Saudi. Nadia from Saudi.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Salamullah.
Sheikh, I want to ask you, last weekend my sister went to Jeddah for exams. So she was having intention from Riyadh. She and her whole family, husband and children, everyone went, that after her exam she will perform Umbra. But Thursday she left from Riyadh and she did not wear a haram because she has exam on Friday morning. So she was already have intention that after exams they will go for Umbra. So that time after exams, they asked from the Jeddah people. Some people said that they have to wear a haram from Jeddah, and some said that they have to go to Taif. So for the sake side, they went to Taif. But I just want to ask you, does it is okay, or how should the people do if they are having intention, but later on,
okay,
not direct to
Any more questions, Nadia?
No, thanks a lot.
I will answer you, inshallah. Okay, Abdurrahman from Saudi Arabia is asking a question about washing the feet in order to wear the socks. Now, the scenario she gave is that her husband, from the morning, he made his wudu, normal, washed his feet and wore his socks. We know that he has 48 hours to wipe over his socks without any problem. So when he came back home, let's assume before Isha, he wanted to make wudu, but he forgot, and he made his wudu, he took off his socks, and he forgot to wash his feet. And he went out of the bathroom, wore the socks again, and went to the masjid, and remembered at the gates of the masjid that he did not wash his feet. So she says, can he go to the bathroom of the masjid and wash his feet, or can he wipe over the socks? The answer is, if when he went to the bathroom in his home, he nullified his wudu, in this case, by taking off the socks, he must make a new wudu with washing the feet. But if he went into the bathroom just to renew the wudu while his wudu was intact, the original wudu which he made a couple of hours ago and he wiped over his socks, he did not break it until he went to the masjid. Then, in this case, taking off the socks and wearing new ones does not affect your wudu, because the previous wudu, the original wudu, which he wiped over his socks, was still intact. But if he broke his wudu and took off his socks, then in this case, it is a must for him to wash his feet. And I hope this answers the question. We have Rahma from Nigeria. Rahma?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaykum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes, Rahma, listen to me from the phone, please.
Yes, Sheikh, I have two questions.
Okay, first one.
The first one is, at the point of Arba'at Ashhuri wa Ashhara,
okay,
it starts from the day the husband died.
Correct.
What is expected? What is expected? How do you go around? How do you go about with your ritual so that you can achieve the sunnah that is expected of you?
Okay.
Two, at the end of the term, is there an intention? Is there a ritual that is expected that you would perform at the last day of that you would end your
Okay.
4 months and 10 days? Yes.
I will answer you, inshallah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Abdul Nasser from Libya, he's asking about an issue. And to answer you, Abdul Nasser, if you enter the masjid before the adhan, and the time was due, so we know that the adhan is called at 12:30, and I entered the masjid at 12:30, but the muadhin was late for 5-10 minutes, for one reason or the other, and I prayed the 4 rak'ah. These 4 rak'ahs are the sunnah of dhuhr. We have no problem in that. But if you entered at 12:25, which is 5 minutes before the adhan, whether you pray 5 rak'ahs or 10 rak'ahs or 20 rak'ahs, this has nothing to do with the dhuhr, because the dhuhr time is not due. Not only that, this is a time of restriction, which is about 5 to 10 minutes before the adhan. You must not pray voluntary prayers. You must only pray 2 rak'ahs for tahiyyat al-masjid, to sit down, and I hope this answers your question. Abdul Nasser is back with us from Libya.
Libya.
Yes, Abdul Nasser.
Sheikh, salam alaikum.
Salamtullah.
I want to know, last, somebody asked you a question about al-udu. 5 times it will destroy your udu. At that time, you make a sign with your 5 fingers like this. So, but at that time, I'm trying to listen for you to know the 5 things which can destroy your udu, but at that time it is too late. I want to know the 5 things which can destroy your al-udu for prayers. Thank you, Sheikh.
I did not get your question. What is the 5 what?
5, if you make udu for salat.
Okay.
The 5 things which can destroy your udu. And you make sign for your 5 fingers that the 5 things is like this. At that time, I didn't get you well.
Okay, I will answer you, inshallah.
Thank you, Sheikh.
You're welcome. Nadia from Saudi Arabia, she says that his sister came from Riyadh. She had an exam on Friday, and they wanted to go for Umrah on Saturday. So she passed the miqat, which is Taif, and did not make the intention of ihram, though she had the firm intention to make it on Saturday. So now, after finishing the exam, what to do? The answer is she has to go back to Taif and assume her ihram from the miqat of Taif, which is As-Sayl al-Kabir or Wadi Mihram, either one. And she goes and make her Umrah. If she makes it from Jeddah, she has to slaughter a sheep for every person who makes ihram, because they all pass the miqat with the intention of Umrah, and they did not assume their ihram from the miqat. So I hope this answers your question. Rahma from Nigeria, she says, if a woman is widowed, we know that she has to spend the waiting period of 4 months and 10 days, as mentioned in the Quran. What is she supposed to do in these 4 months and 10 days? Mourning is prohibited over a deceased for more than 3 days, except for a widow. So if my father dies, if my loved one dies, I can mourn him or her for 3 days. That's it. But after that, I have to get out of the mourning condition. As in the hadith of Habiba, may Allah be pleased with her, when she put perfume on her side brows after 3 days of her father, Abu Sufyan ibn Harb, may Allah be pleased with him, had died. And she explained why. Now for a widow, it's a different scenario altogether. She's obliged to mourn her beloved husband for 4 months and 10 days. What to do? she's not allowed to get out of the home except for necessities. So she cannot visit a sick person, she could not attend a wedding, she could not go and visit people. She has to be confined to her home except for emergencies or necessities. Like if she's a working woman, she's a teacher, and they won't give her a time out. So she can go teach and come back. She must not wear any perfume or any thing that would beautify her as if she is calling people to marry her. So she should wear normal clothes, not something that is a soiree or something that is fancy in her home. Normal clothes, not wearing makeup, not wearing eyeliners, not putting perfumes that would beautify her. This is part of showing your sadness and expressing it. Other than that, she can answer the phone, she can go to the top of the house for her laundry, or to just go out in the garden of the house, not out of the house. All of this is permissible, inshallah. And what to do after she finishes? Nothing. There is no ritual prescribed for us. So once the 10th day is over, khalas, alhamdulillah, she can wear her makeup and perfume herself and go to any place that is halal. Our last question for tonight is from Musdaq from Kuwait. Musdaq from Kuwait.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, akhi.
I have a question about paying zakat. We pay in zakat in Ramadan, but I calculate the zakat up to the Hajj.
Okay.
So most of it I pay in Ramadan, and some I pay later in the first 10 days of Hajj. Is it okay? And another thing is that before next Ramadan comes, I pay some zakat in advance, which I deduct from my zakat amount of zakat in next year.
Okay.
Is it okay?
Okay. I will answer you. Any more questions?
No, thank you.
You're welcome, akhi. Abdul Nasser from Libya says, what are the 5 things that nullify your wudu, if I understood his question correctly? And the answer is defecating, urinating, passing wind, sleeping, and eating camel's meat. These are the 5 things that nullify wudu in accordance to the authentic sunnah. Of course, the first 3, defecating, urinating, and passing wind, is added to it anything that comes out of your private part. Anything that comes out of your private parts break your wudu. Musdaq from Kuwait says that my wudu, according to my calculation, is on, let me rephrase that. Musdaq from Kuwait says, my zakat, it's a big problem if his wudu is only in the Hijjah. Wow, he's a lucky man. No, he's not lucky. His zakat is, according to his calculation, is in the Hijjah. He pays it 3 months in advance in Ramadan. So is this okay? The answer is no. Unless there is someone who is extremely in need in Ramadan. And most likely, the majority of poor people are not in need. A lot of the people tend to delay or to pay in advance their zakat in Ramadan, seeking the reward because it's a blessed month. And this is wrong. This is totally not correct, because this means that 11 months of the year, the poor will not find any zakat. So you have timings that Allah has set for you. Once the amount of savings finishes 12 months in your possession, you have to give zakat, whether it's in Ramadan or in the Hijjah. His second question is, okay, if there is a need for someone, so my zakat is due on Hajj. 5 months earlier, I got a person who will be in deep need because of a surgery in the hospital, and he doesn't have money. What to do? He needs money. I cannot tell him wait for 5 months. In this case, no problem, akhi. Give him the zakat because there is an urgent need, unlike when it is for Ramadan. Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. This is all the time we have. Until we meet next time, fi amanillah, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Allah is my heart's speech, your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance and in your deen